Hello, I'm Joe Walensky, and I am the conference director for the Technical Writer Conference, which is coming up virtual everywhere online, and that's Tuesday, on June 23rd. And I get the chance to do a little preview with each of our speakers. And right now I'm talking with Jacqueline Volin. Hello, Jacqueline. How are you today?
Hi, Joe. I'm doing well today. Thanks. How about yourself?
All right, I'm talking from my home office in Bellingham, Washington, which is about 80 miles north of Seattle. Where are you talking to me from?
I am talking to you from Seattle,
All right.
from my home office in Seattle.
Well, thanks for electing to be part of the event. And so it's just a little, just to hear a little bit about you and your work and your topics. So maybe you could talk a little bit about what you're up to now and how you found your way to where you are.
Sure. Yeah. So I am on the documentation team at Salesforce. And so I write help documentation, release notes to tell our customers what's new coming out with the next release of Salesforce, user interface text, so anything that users see on screen. And I do it for a specific product in the Salesforce suite. And the product I work for just uh, is most easily summed up as Experience Cloud, which our customers use to create websites for their customers. So portals, online portals, storefronts to sell things, that kind of thing. And I work directly with engineers and with product managers and UX designers. And so we're all just kind of a team and we work together to put out whatever new features uh, product and engineering essentially have agreed to work on. Um, and how did I get here? So I am a career changer. I've been a tech writer for 8 years, but before that, for most of my career, I was a book editor, um, and then also an editor in for a weekly newspaper. Um, and I career changed well, for a lot of reasons. But I didn't really want to have to go back to school and get an entire new degree. So I was thinking, what are the skills I have and how are they transferable to another industry? And after some informational interviewing, I realized tech writing might be a possibility. And I kind of got lucky, if I'm honest, to get my foot in the door at Salesforce.
Excellent. Well, I think in technical writing, many of us have come into it from kind of a different paths that were maybe unexpected earlier on in our career. So it's great to hear you're able to find your way to it. Well, you're going to be giving a talk at the conference that has a title, Identifying Customer Needs in Your Documentation. So tell us a little bit about how you came around to this topic.
Sure. Yeah. It was actually my boss at the time who had the idea. So he, for many years, was in curriculum development. And I think as part of that job, he just was regularly in contact with a lot of the people at Salesforce who are hands-on with customers. Um, and on the doc team, we're somewhat removed from customer feedback. We can certainly get it if people offer it by hitting the thumbs up or thumbs down on each page of our documentation has that. Um, but it's not regular and it's not really widespread. And our documentation set is pretty mature. The product itself is pretty mature. It's been around for a good long while, at least tech-wise. And so he thought, well, he just remembered, like, oh, yes, customer-facing colleagues. So at Salesforce, we have solution engineers who work with the account executives to actually sell products, and they're there in the conversation with potential customers. And if the customers ask, well, does your product do this? Then the solution engineers can actually demonstrate it. Um, and then also we have a department called professional services, and at least for the product I work on, the folks in that department will actually do some of the heavy lifting for our customers. They'll create and maintain the customer websites. Um, but still, like the customers ask them, like, well, we have this new need. Can you build this for us? And so we settled on people in those roles because they are working directly with customers. Our customers use the documentation so they're hearing from those customers. What do you think of the documentation? Is there anything missing? They themselves use our documentation, so they're in a very good position to let us know what's missing, what needs are there, what could use a video, what could use explaining, what's too long. That's kind of how we came about it. And then so my boss had the idea, and then I took off with it. And we got initial recommendations from a VP in our division who had just been in that role for a long time, so he knew a lot of people. And basically, we only really needed, or I only really needed, one name to get going because at the end of each interview, just like in an informational interview, I would say, thank you. And is there anyone else you can think of who I could talk to about this? And everybody had suggestions. And so it was pretty easy to find people once I had that first one. And their responses were just, it was information we never would have known otherwise. Just because we don't have that access and we aren't using it the way they're using it. We're not searching our documentation to figure out how to accomplish a task. So hopefully that answers your
Yeah.
question well enough.
Well, yeah, that's great, and it's also great to hear that kind of an informal, organic approach was able to get you into that customer-facing situation that maybe otherwise would have been difficult to organize.
Yeah, yeah. I had met customers once or twice very early on in my Salesforce career, far earlier than I was really in a position to ask them questions like that. And that was a great experience, but I don't have those experiences any longer. And so this was the next best thing. And one of the nice things about it also is just the ongoing relationships with some of them. I'll sometimes reach out to them and ask them a question related to something I'm documenting now, like, do you have a sense of how much we need to explain this new feature to people? Or will they kind of understand it because it's related to this other feature that already exists? And they'll sometimes reach out to me with just like, hey, I found something that's wrong, or I found something that needs to be covered better. And that's been a really nice thing as well, just those ongoing connections.
Well, it's been great to hear your story, learn a little bit about you and your topic. So thanks for taking the time to share that, and we'll see you at the event in a short while.
Okay, looking forward to it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.